Hi, Christy Jacobs here. I'm a leading certified nutritionist in the Trim Down Club, and today I want to address 5 foods that you've been told are healthy for you that can actually increase unwanted weight gain and cause other serious health problems. Now, these 5 foods are manufactured by big companies, and since these companies have a lot of influence and pull in the media, you may want to watch this presentation right now until the end, while it's still showing. So let's get started. You're probably eating these foods daily, and they not only add to those extra inches around your belly, but they can stop you from losing weight altogether. When you eliminate them, the excess weight falls off naturally. I often joke with my husband that we really don't live in the information age as much as we live in the misinformation age. I say that because there's a lot of misleading information floating around when it comes to being healthy and losing weight. I've tried everything you've tried, the diet pills, counting calories, specially prepared meals, and none of it worked. Not to mention, I felt like I was starving myself most of the time on these diets. I started feeling like there was no hope, that my body was destined to be supersized. I was ready to throw in the towel and accept my fate of never being thin. But through my studies in the nutritional field, I discovered some key factors that keep the fat on. As soon as I started eliminating certain foods that we've consistently been told were healthy for us, the fat just melted away. This information may shock you, but you can start using it immediately to lose weight for good, especially belly fat, whether you're currently on a diet or not. You'll learn about genetically modified or GM foods and see how certain foods can cause hormonal imbalances and keep the fat on. What you eat can affect your hormones negatively or positively, and what you put into your body has more to do with you being healthy and losing weight than anything else. Specific foods that are labeled healthy for you can actually keep that fat on, cause hormonal imbalances, increase cardiovascular disease, and make it almost impossible to lose weight as long as you keep eating them. In fact, you have all the answers right in your own kitchen. You just need to educate yourself on what eating healthy is really all about, because it's not what most people think it is. It's not about diet health bars or eating berries, celery, or carrots. When you consume the right carbs with the right amount of proteins, the fat will burn off naturally. It's that simple. I'm going to show you how to melt those unwanted pounds without eating skimpy frozen meals, starving yourself with fad diets, or even doing exhausting exercises, as long as you avoid eating these 5 foods. And I'm betting 3 of these 5 foods will shock you, like they did me. But let me start with the one that isn't a food. It's actually a drink you've been told over and over how healthy it is for you. It's concentrated orange juice. Have you ever seen those commercials that tell you starting your day with a big glass of concentrated orange juice is a really good idea? The truth is, it's probably one of the worst things you can do to your body. And it's not just OJ. Most concentrated fruit juices can cause problems around the waistline. These include concentrated juices like cranberry juice, apple juice, and other concentrated fruit juices. You might be wondering, how is this possible? Isn't fruit good for you? Well, I knew the problem wasn't the fruit, so I discovered how fruits are concentrated into juice. You see, many companies remove the fiber and other nutritious elements out of the fruit during the concentrating process. The fiber in fruit normally reduces the spike in blood sugar. With the fiber taken out, you are essentially left with sugar water. And when your blood sugar is too high, it puts your body in fat-storing mode, essentially telling your body to store anything you eat as fat. Blood sugar levels are directly related to insulin levels. Insulin is also known as your fat-storing hormone. This hormonal imbalance with insulin can cause weight gain because of the raised blood sugar levels. Most concentrated fruit juices have just as much or even more sugar than soda. Contrary to what commercials tell you, starting your day with a big glass of concentrated juice is a really bad decision. The excess sugar can spike your blood sugar and put your body in fat-storing mode. Excess sugar in our diet is probably the number 1 thing to be careful of, and it's not just concentrated juice you have to worry about. A lot of processed foods have excess sugar in them. and it's disguised in scientific-sounding names like high fructose corn syrup, dextran, dextrose, and fruit juice concentrate, like I just mentioned. Excess sugar in your diet can cause your blood sugar levels to spike, which leads to an insulin overload and puts your body in fat storing mode. Not only does it cause weight gain, but high blood sugar for a prolonged period of time can also lead to hyperglycemia and diabetes, especially type 2 diabetes, which many studies indicate is closely associated with weight gain. Diabetes is already the 7th largest cause of death in the U.S., and I'm afraid this number will just continue to rise until we change our eating habits. And excess sugar is just one of the problems. The Food and Drug Administration has warned that there are over 50 different known poisons and toxic substances in the average American's shopping cart. These chemicals combined cause hundreds of different diseases and can even be fatal in some cases. Now, the second fat-storing food can also increase your weight, but it also has far more serious health risks. Fat-storing food number 2 is margarine. Like many oils and spreads, most margarines contain trans fat. Trans fats are formed when hydrogen is added to make it solid and less likely to spoil. It's added to prolong shelf life. But ingesting these trans fats can increase the risk for cardiovascular disease as well as weight gain. Cardiovascular disease is on the rise, with heart disease being the #1 killer in America. Trans fats have also been proven to increase your LDL levels, which are commonly known as bad cholesterol, while at the same time wiping out your HDL levels, or your good cholesterol. So it's a double whammy on your body. It can cause you to gain weight, wipe out your good cholesterol, increase your bad cholesterol by building up plaque in your arteries, and do more harm than good. As a certified nutritionist for the Trim Down Club, I teach people to adjust what they're eating to more healthy alternatives, like butter instead of margarine. Butter has fat in it too, but it's a saturated fat that your body can burn for fuel, instead of building up plaque in your arteries like trans fats can do. You'll start eating foods that don't wreak havoc on your hormones, your arteries, or your blood sugar levels, and your body will immediately thank you as it sheds inches and melts the extra pounds away. You'll learn more about that in a minute. Next, let's get to fat-storing food number 3, which was quite a shock for me. It's whole wheat bread. Are you surprised? I was too. It's not just whole wheat bread either. It's other breads, pastas, and other comfort foods that all add up to making it very hard to get lean and healthy. Comfort foods are usually those high-carb meals we all love. Many comfort foods include apple pie, cakes, muffins, pastas, and pizza. I knew that high-carb comfort foods can make you fat. But if you're like me, you love these foods, and you don't want to give them up. Well, as it turns out, you don't have to. My own problems losing weight are what led me to become a certified nutritionist. I could never seem to get rid of those extra 20 to 30 pounds of belly fat. I stopped eating the sweets and was eating healthier, and I would even exercise, which helped lose some of the belly fat. But it always came back when I couldn't continue my routine because my life just got too busy again. There's a saying in the fitness industry that you can't exercise your way out of poor nutrition. What that means is that no amount of exercise will help you if you're not eating nutrient-dense food that your body needs to metabolize. And I always thought my weight had a lot to do with the carbs I was eating. But the real key was understanding how my body metabolizes these carbohydrates and what causes these cravings in the first place. When carbs are combined with the right amount of other foods, like proteins, it doesn't raise your blood sugar levels and puts your body in fat storing mode. You see, there are 2 kinds of carbs: low carbs, which are your greens, most veggies, and some fruits. And then there's high carbs, the ones I love and didn't want to give up. Things like pasta, bread, sweets, and even beer and wine. And when you eat them by themselves, they can cause you to gain weight. Before I became a nutritionist, here's what my family and I would eat on a typical day: pancakes for breakfast, a burger for lunch, and chicken for dinner. But the problem with these meals is that they don't have the right ratio of high carbs and low carbs to protein. Let's take a look at breakfast. It's essentially all high carbs. That means it's likely to raise my blood sugar level, putting my body into fat storing mode. Eating high-carb meals tends to elevate blood sugar levels, basically telling your body to store everything you eat as fat. And that's what was happening with me at almost every meal. I just had to customize my meals to add the right balance of proteins with some low carbs and the high carbs to balance out my meal and keep my blood sugar level. And I didn't have to give up anything. I can still have a burger for lunch and my family's favorite chicken dish for dinner. By combining the right ratios of carbs and proteins, it causes your body to burn fat rather than store it. Let me explain something else that feeds into these cravings for comfort foods. Cortisol is another hormone that can cause that sweet tooth for these comfort foods. Cortisol is a hormone produced by your adrenal glands in response to deal with stressful situations. This is the body's way of ramping up adrenaline levels to move your body out of harm's way. It's what gives you that extra boost of energy that helps you in an emergency situation, like running out of a burning building. But here's the thing, stress is stress to this hormone. It doesn't know the difference between a life-threatening physical situation and a mentally stressful situation. And when you feel mentally stressed, your body is flooded with cortisol, just as if you were in immediate physical danger. In a physically stressful situation, like being inside a building on fire, the higher levels of cortisol are burned off by the activity of running out of the building. That's what it's there for, to give you that extra boost of energy. But in mentally stressful situations, like being under a tight deadline at work, relationship problems, or even being overweight, your body continues to produce cortisol to handle the stress. Since this excess cortisol is not being burned up by physical action, it creates an imbalance that increases your appetite and cravings for sugar. Scientific studies have shown that when stress levels are high, it increases your appetite, your cravings for sugar, and this is typically stored in the abdominal region. Which is why the quickest way most of us deal with stress is to reach for these high-carb comfort foods. So the more stress, the more weight gain, and it typically winds up around the belly. Then I learned another thing, and this was really hard to understand at first. Before becoming a nutritionist, I was always trying to get rid of that extra 20 to 30 pounds of belly fat through different diets. Most of these diets restricted what I could eat. As it turns out, those diets didn't have me eating enough. See, when you restrict yourself from eating for a long time, like I did on those diets, your blood sugar drops and your body is convinced it's starving. When your blood sugar levels drop, it puts you back in fat storing mode. But by snacking in between meals throughout the day, you can keep your blood sugar levels balanced and keep your body in the fat-burning zone all day long. Your meals just have to be balanced with the right amounts of protein and carbs. This way your blood sugar levels don't go too high and throw your hormones out of whack, or go too low and put you into starvation mode. Now think about these first 3 foods for a second: orange juice, margarine, and whole wheat bread. How many people probably have this every morning for breakfast? Are you starting to see why it can be so hard to lose weight? Can you see how the choices made available to you are sabotaging your weight loss goals? And this problem isn't just a physical one. The psychological factors can sometimes be even worse. Ask yourself if you ever experienced any of these feelings. It's hopeless. I'm doing everything and the weight still won't come off. I'm never going to look as good as I did before. Go out. I don't want to go out. I really don't feel like doing anything. Buy new clothes? What's the point? Nothing ever fits. When I hear these comments, I know the frustration because that's how I felt when I was trying everything and nothing was working. But now that I know how your hormones can go out of whack by eating certain foods, I've just tweaked my eating habits and stopped the endless cycle of dieting. And you can too. It's that easy. When hormones continue to be imbalanced, it can cause unwanted effects like weight gain. And it gets worse because the more pounds you pack on, the less adiponectin your body produces. Adiponectin is known as your fat-burning hormone. The British Journal of Sports Medicine published a study showing a direct connection between lower levels of fat with higher adiponectin levels in your body. As your body stores more fat, the less of this natural fat-burning hormone it produces. So it's another double whammy. It can be a domino effect. When your blood sugar goes too high or low, it can cause an insulin imbalance and put your body into fat storing mode. As you gain weight, your body tends to produce less adiponectin, your natural fat burner. Then add in the day-to-day modern stress we all live with and the excess cortisol your body produces because of it, and you start to see why weight loss can be so difficult. But it doesn't have to be that way. The Trim Down Club gives you tips like keeping your adiponectin at optimal levels to increase your weight loss. For instance, green tea has been shown to increase levels of adiponectin. Aside from its fat-burning power, it's also a natural anti-inflammatory, so it can also help ease the swelling sometimes associated with weight gain. The Trim Down Club has come to realize it's not the hormones, but the choices in food made available to us that are contributing to these hormonal imbalances. Like I said earlier, there's a lot of misinformation floating around, and there's vital information that's being hidden from us that could allow all of us to be slender for life. Let me take just a moment to quickly tell you about the Trim Down Club before we wrap this up with the last 2 foods to avoid. We are a group of certified nutritionists, registered dietitians, and experienced fitness experts that teach you how to swap out some of those fat-storing foods for healthy fat-burning foods. Things like butter instead of margarine, and whole grain bread instead of processed wheat. Simple tweaks like these will cause your body to burn fat rather than store it because it keeps your blood sugar levels balanced and keeps your body in fat-burning mode all day. We make this very easy for you to do with our exclusive Personal Menu Planner. You just choose your favorite foods from the Personal Menu Planner, and it instantly creates a weekly menu guaranteed to melt fat off your body. It's like having your own personal nutritionist. Everything is immediately accessible online, so you can log in whether you're at a friend's place, visiting the family, or from the comfort of your own home. Your Personal Menu Planner gives you simple, mouth-watering recipes using your favorite foods to make hundreds of delicious meals that use just the right combination of proteins and carbs that will turn on your body's fat-burning furnace. We'll show you how to speed up weight loss because the precise combination of these meals ensures you're eating the right kinds of food to maximize fat loss without counting fat grams, counting calories, or starving yourself. This is a family-friendly program because when the rest of the family is eating chicken, you can eat chicken. When they're having dessert, you can have dessert. You don't have to fix something different or eat a frozen or prepackaged meal because you're trying to lose weight. My personal favorite are the breakfast tacos, and I love cream cheese cocoa fudge cake for dessert. These are just 2 of the many choices you'll find that make it easy for you to lose weight. Everyone in the family can keep lean and healthy with our dietitian-approved meals that keep the fat off. The step-by-step instructions with plenty of easy-to-fix, mouth-watering meals makes it effortless to get slim and trim, even if you've never cooked before. Best of all, the Trim Down Club Fat Loss System works with any diet since it's heart-healthy, diabetic-friendly, and organized for any taste, even vegetarian. That's because it's all customized to your specific taste. You choose the foods you want to eat. We'll also show you how to eat delicious snacks in between meals to keep your body out of starvation mode, which can cause your body to store food as fat. So you never go hungry, and since you're not depriving yourself of the foods you love, you can stick with this plan and watch the flab disappear as your body naturally redefines itself to your ideal body weight. Your body has a built-in blueprint to be lean and healthy. When you feed it the right food in the right combinations, it naturally melts off any excess weight, and we show you how to turbocharge your results. You also get the progress meter to track your success and monitor your results. These successful results will bring back those natural positive thoughts you have about yourself and overcome the negative psychological feelings that go together with being overweight. Things like self-doubt, self-pity, or just not believing in yourself and what you're really capable of will disappear with each pound you melt away. You'll be back into that favorite pair of old jeans before you know it. Plus, you have full access to the Fat Burning Forum. This is an extremely supportive and active community. It's a friendly and fun forum where you can ask questions, get support, or just trade delicious fat-burning tips and tricks. It's a very active community where everyone is kind of going through the same thing to achieve spectacular results and help each other along the way. Plus, we constantly post new fat-burning recipes for our private members to enjoy. Each meal is double-checked by our dietitians to ensure it includes the maximum fat loss ingredients. And we'll keep you updated on the most recent scientific studies and weight loss information, with additional tips and simple tricks to help you say goodbye to the fat forever. To get your body in fat-burning mode all day, every day, we give you a quick start guide with a simple step-by-step plan to get a jump start on being lean and healthy. While having a personal trainer like on the TV show The Biggest Loser would be nice, the average personal trainer costs $50 an hour. That's over $2,400 a year at just 1 hour a week. Programs that ship you food in prepackaged boxes every month can cost $300 or more each and every month, whether you lose the weight or not. That's over $3,600 a year. Doctors' programs can cost $500 a month or more. Until recently, the suggested retail price for a yearly membership in the Trim Down Club was going to be offered for the extremely low price of just $297. But now, since we can deliver the entire program online without the added expense of printing materials, creating DVDs, and the cost of shipping it all in a 30-pound box, you can join the Trim Down Club right now and get everything you need to lose all the weight you want and keep it off for the rest of your life without giving up the foods you love for a one-time payment of just $47. You heard that right. Just $47 for life. No monthly billing, no ongoing fees. That's less than a family night out at the movies. And unlike other fat loss programs, it's guaranteed to work. That's right, you lose the weight or you don't pay. At the Trim Down Club, we're committed to provide you and your family with the very best educational fat loss products available, and we take that commitment very seriously. We believe that if our program doesn't work for you, you shouldn't have to pay for it. That's why the Trim Down Club is backed by our unprecedented money-back guarantee. You can try it in your own home for 8 full weeks. Show it to your doctor or health professional. Get the go-ahead to do this program and prove to yourself that this program really works. If after 2 months you haven't lost weight, if you're not well on your way to having the lean and healthy body you deserve, simply let us know and you'll get a full refund. No questions asked. There's no risk, so you have nothing to lose. The Trim Down Club guarantees you lose the weight or you don't pay. Start using the foods you love to lose weight. You really can eat your favorite foods and shrink your tummy every single week. And you get lifetime access to melt the fat away and keep it off for good. That's 80% less of what it cost for delivery diet food. But that's not all, because when you join in the next few minutes, you'll also receive 4 great gifts. Gift number 1. Shopping the proper way. We break down the myths and show you that just because something says diet, light, or reduced fat on the package doesn't necessarily make it good for your body. You can't always be sure if every food you buy is blood sugar safe, so we break it down for you. Next, you get the Trim Down Cookbook. This is the heart and soul of creating that lean and healthy body you want. You'll eat well all day, every day, and keep your body in fat-burning mode. Your body will start thanking you right away as it readjusts to naturally melt away the excess fat. This isn't eating grape seeds and celery. These are hearty and wholesome meals your taste buds will love and your body craves. Gift number 3. The Perfect Soup. These are delicious soups and a truly nutritious source of food using the best fat-burning ingredients that your body is starving for. Your body will literally sponge up these scrumptious soup recipes that leave you feeling satisfied. Gift number 4. Express meals for 14 days. We know it's not always possible to cook a delicious fat-burning meal, so we've created a special menu for people on the go. You'll get quick snack ideas and light meals that fit perfectly with your busy life. You no longer have to be at the mercy of the fast food alternatives that pack on pounds quicker and are not good for you anyway. So go ahead and click that button below to get started right now. You'll not only see all the foods you should avoid, you'll get a complete done-for-you program to help even out your blood sugar levels, keep your hormones balanced and in check, and free yourself from unwanted and dangerous fat. You're totally covered by our no-risk money-back guarantee. And you can keep the bonuses as our gift for giving it a try, even if you cancel. So click the button below when you're ready to start melting the fat away for good. Now, you may be very surprised that fat-storing food number 4 is processed soy. Soy milk, tofu, and soy protein are just a few of the products that companies consistently sell us as being healthy alternatives. But it's not true. Listen to what I'm saying here, because this is when I first realized how marketing gimmicks are used to keep consumers dumbed down to what they're really eating. You've probably heard how healthy these soy products, whole wheat breads, and fruit juices are, especially since it says so somewhere on the package. And if you're wondering how soy products can be bad for you, it's simple. It all comes down to processing. Many soy products are highly processed, and 91% of soy grown in the U.S. is genetically modified. There's also research from a recent study that shows that unnatural or processed soy has a direct connection to infertility and reproductive problems, as well as being linked to an increase in allergies. And Dr. Kayla Daniel, author of The Whole Soy Story, shows thousands of studies linking soy to malnutrition, digestive distress, immune system breakdown, thyroid dysfunction, cognitive decline, reproductive disorders and infertility, even cancer and heart disease. Here's just a sampling from her book of the health effects that have been linked to soy: breast cancer, thyroid disorders, kidney stones, immune system impairment, severe or potential fatal food allergies. Many processed foods can throw your hormones out of balance, harden your arteries by producing plaque, and negatively affect your blood sugar levels, as you just saw. What happens during the processing of soybeans is that many of the vital nutrients and minerals are stripped out, and as much as 90% of the phytonutrient content is lost during this process. Phytonutrients are the disease-fighting medicines found in foods. When you eat these processed foods, your body doesn't get the nutrients it needs for health and well-being. It can cause weight gain or even more serious health problems by throwing your hormones out of balance. Another such hormone is ghrelin. The more ghrelin your body produces, the more your appetite and hunger cravings increase. When your food doesn't contain the enzymes and nutrients your body needs, ghrelin can be turned on and cause you to think you're hungry even when you're not. Ghrelin is the hormone responsible for those late-night feeding frenzies. It's why you can eat a big meal and still feel hungry 30 minutes later. It can trigger overeating or even binge eating. Adding things like snap peas, green beans, and other legumes to your meals have been shown to decrease ghrelin and help balance out the metabolism. And when it comes to losing weight, metabolism is the workhorse that burns the fat into fuel and gets you lean and healthy. Your metabolism is also crucial for your kidney, brain, heart, and liver to function properly. So just staying away from as much processed food as possible is going to help. We'll show you how simple and easy it is to boost your metabolism and give you a complete list of these fat-burning boosters inside the Trim Down Club. Now, the last fat-storing food is usually eaten at barbecues and tastes really good roasted, but it can be detrimental to your weight loss efforts. Fat-storing food number 5 is corn, but not any corn. I'm specifically talking about genetically modified, or GM corn for short. There's a big controversy over genetically modified foods, or GMOs as they're called. GMO is short for genetically modified organism. GMO foods are banned in many other countries. Here's probably the easiest way to think about this. Genetically modified foods may modify you, especially your weight. And when it comes to GM corn, a study published in the International Journal of Biological Sciences shows that GMO corn and other genetically modified foods is contributing to the obesity epidemic and also causing problems with vital organs. And it's not just corn on the cob. This genetically modified version of corn can be found in many foods. Take breakfast cereals, for example. Gluten-free corn cereal, corn puffs or flakes, and even those honey-coated oats are just a few. There are dozens more, and this is just the breakfast cereal category. These 5 foods are just the tip of a much deeper problem, especially in the genetically modified foods category. Corn, soy, sugar, aspartame, canola, and even dairy is being bombarded by corporate giants with unnecessary and unhealthy chemicals, growth hormones, and antibiotics that can have very negative effects on your health and increase your weight gain. Adding chemicals to prolong shelf life or genetically modifying our food is not the answer. Modifying what we eat towards more healthy choices is. You can change your health, your weight, and your life just by making better food choices and knowing when to eat, how to eat, as well as what not to eat. But like I said earlier, this isn't about just eating vegetables and granola. These are delicious meals where we teach you to swap out unhealthy and fat foods for leaner choices that don't put you at risk. The Trim Down Club gives you a complete, done-for-you, easy-to-follow program to melt the fat away to get lean and healthy for your entire family. Now, you could try to go this alone, but I would suggest you let the Trim Down Club help you, at least until you feel comfortable and know what you're doing when it comes to eating healthy. So go ahead and click the button now. If you know you're ready for a change and you want to burn the fat for good, then give it a try for a full 8 weeks and we'll show you how. If you're not well on your way to losing the weight you want and getting your life back, then we'll refund your money 100%. That's our guarantee. Think about all of the famous people you know that have coaches and mentors. Oprah Winfrey and other media personalities have coaches. Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and top athletes have coaches. Movie stars have coaches and trainers. Even Tony Robbins, who is a self-help coach himself, has a coach and a trainer. The list goes on and on. They don't try to go it alone because they've already learned how quickly we can sabotage ourselves when trying to break bad habits to form new good habits. They know that to overcome the obstacles in life, you need to increase motivation, put in the extra effort, and get that inspiration to dig deep within yourself to create the added incentive to stick it out and reach your goal. That's kind of our mission. Offer people a really effective online coaching program that includes that added ingredient of motivation to follow through. So let's get started. The Trim Down Club is going to help you tap into that hardwired ability that resides within us all to be healthy and energize this power within you to live a happier, less toxic, and more wholesome life. Before we're done, you will know that you are responsible for your well-being. In other words, the hands of fate are your very own. You only need to learn how to use these proverbial hands to confidently drive you down the path of true health. And that's what we do for you by showing you what not to eat, as well as the how, when, and what you should eat. There are people who get exponentially worse with increasing health problems and wither away in pain with age, and others who grow exponentially better with more vigor and vitality as they get older. The only difference is that the latter group decided to activate the body's natural healing power and eliminate the toxicity in their lives. So join us and start living a healthier and happier life. Many people see substantial weight loss in the first 2 weeks. Get rid of that suffocating and frustrating body fat within a few short weeks. The only real risk is if you don't do anything. If deep down in your heart you know that you must succeed at any cost for you, your family, your career, your health, and possibly even your life, click the button below and let's get started.